Hello, welcome back to Wine and Wine. It is me, Sam Loy, and the lovely Russell Cutting. There he is. Sorry, there they are. My apologies.
Me!
It's them. Then, thanks for sticking with us. We're down to our last color. So after this, we've only got multicolored and, you know, other
Artifact
things.
lands.
Yeah,
Ugh, whatever.
artifact-
We'll push through the last section pretty
There's a
quick, I
couple of
imagine.
things. But anyway, so we're on to green now, last of the major colors. And this is a bit shorter than we had for the last couple, so we're going to get through it a bit quicker.
Hopefully.
Yeah. There's some really cool cards, and I think that
Yeah.
they're really powerful cards, really, maybe more relevant to formats that we don't play. And a couple of really interesting ones which might be relevant to standard as well. So here we have our three honorary mentions, and they do have a common theme, I would say, is that they're all mana matters, powerful effects, and in general, these cards are not good. like not in constructed. I like Splendid Reclamation. We didn't get it busted last time. It was legal. It's a reprint. Cultivated Colossus is amazingly open-ended, and I like that card a lot. I don't think it's bustable. And Glorious Sunrise is just kind of worse than Renin 7, but does powerful stuff as well. So I'm interested in all three of these cards. I wouldn't be surprised based on their power level that they became good. But to me, they're all kind of, I don't know if they're going to interact on the right axes.
Yeah, I don't see really any of them, for the most part, breaking out into standard play. We might see some action from Glorious Sunrise, particularly if we get bogged down in a mid-range metagame. There's some stuff going on there. One of the abilities, at least to target land and triple green, seems a little bit superfluous. But the other three abilities feel very plain, progressive, and good. Splendid Reclamation really lends itself towards combo, but I don't think we have any land-based combination. But a good reprint for the casual crew. Cultivated Colossus, big dummy with potential card advantage stapled onto it.
It's a really sick ETB. But
It's ETB instead of cast, which allows for shenanigans. But unfortunately, the shenanigans cheating this out on turn 2 is not good. So,
yeah,
conflict
you need a very specific deck. I think Cultivated Colossus is most interesting to me just because it cares about playing lands, not having lands in hand. So you can play this with all the Zendikar double-faced land spell cards, and you can just keep playing them as lands and keep going. And that's the most relevant piece of text to me. If it's broken, I'd like to see it. It'd be fucking cool. And these other two, I think Glorious Sunrise probably is the best of the three. But again, given what we're doing in this standard format, when we get into the upper echelons of mana, I don't see it.
Yeah.
All right,
All
moving.
very cool though.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Like I'd be very happy to play against these cards if they're good enough. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's talk about an actual good card.
A very
Ascending
good
Pack
boy.
Leader. This is a Russell pick. It kind of. I mean, you look at this one and it just kind of looks like Pelt Collector, but better.
Yeah. Yeah. This one wasn't too hard. Like you just look at it. It's again, I've spoken before about things enabling the Wolf and Werewolf deck. This is one of those cards. This is the one drop that deck desperately needed. It is. I like the design on this and the fact that it is good on turn 1 because it can scale to the late game, and it is good on turn 5 because it can at least come down as a good threat and continue to scale up. Look, it lacks evasion. It's pretty one-dimensional, but there is a lot packed into one mana investment here and a relevant creature type. It's just, this is a very good one drop. That's about it. But
Totally agree.
it's what,
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. It's super relevant. And look, we know that Mono Green is one of the best decks, so it's already got a home.
yeah.
But yeah,
Good card. I don't need to speak about the nuances. Everything you need to know about this card is in the text. There are no decision points to make. It is just
it's only
lots of relevant text.
Yeah, the only thing about this that I think some people might miss is that it cares about casting spells of CMC 4 or greater and controlling permanents of CMC 4 or greater, both of which are a little bit more expansive than we normally get with this templating. It's normally creatures. So this cares about Azeka's Chariot. It'll get benefits from that both sides. Cares about Ren and 7. Cares about, I don't know, if you're playing a 4-cost spell of some description that is non-permanent. It will care about that as well. And that's all upsides, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, they've made it a lot more open-ended than what you would typically come to expect from something of this design, which I think is beneficial.
Yeah, fantastic.
But not bad. Just very, very good templating.
Yeah, no, they nailed it on this one, I think. This is great standard card. All right, something a little bit more interesting. Cartographer's Survey, a bit more of a controversial card. And I think that when we're talking about this card, we're not talking about standard.
Yeah, I mean, so this has a variety of applications, particularly in older formats and again, very much in casual formats as well. The thing most important to note about this one is it's put up to 2 land cards and it is omitting the word basic. You get to put in any of it, any land card. Non-basics is what we're looking for. This can lead to a variety of situations if you're looking at things like Amulet Titan, with Karuz, with any sort of utility land. It is a Explosive Vegetation, which is a completely reasonable spell, which if you don't know Explosive Vegetation, you search your library of 2 basic land cards and put them in the battlefield tap for the same mana cost.
Mm-hmm.
This has a little bit of a gamble where it's looked at the top 7 cards, but all this really stipulates to me is you have to be looking at deck building constraints, which again I encourage. This encourages good deck building around this card, where you'll be focusing on having a high, capacity or whatever of land cards, and particularly ones that can go above and beyond and reward you for paying this. It is a sorcery, but it is flashable. But this card is up to no good.
Yeah, it just makes me think of Valakut. Like, this is a Valakut card.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. If it's good, it's busted. And that's sort of where we like to look for these sort of effects. We normally get more Explosive Vegetation style effects. I think the last time we got one was in the latest Zendikar set, which is, I think, Wildwood Explosion or something. I don't know how to kick it to put counters on
has
things.
kicker as well. Yeah.
This is a better card in older formats, but probably a worse card than standard. So we'll look at this card, but just probably not for standard decks, I expect. But despite all that,
this also, it also mitigates some of the issues which Magic has been trying to address involving shuffling, because you put them on the bottom of your library in random order, so you don't have to shuffle a deck.
No shuffling.
That is also important.
Please no shuffling. Oh my god.
Stuff. Look, it's not completely necessary because it interacts favorably with Scry. So.
All right. Okay. So moving on from that one, I'm willing to hear other people's opinion on this card. I've heard some people say it's like it's bad or whatever. It's like, look, you're only really playing it for its upside. Is our sort of our take on this, and I think we both.
It's worth discussing. I think this card is it's doing something relatively unique. So
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is an old favorite of mine and also a good friend of mine, Mulch. Mulch is a fantastic card, and it is always underrated until it gets legal again.
Yeah, it's like you look at what is this card? It's like, well, we're looking at a graveyard-centric format. This is legal in the last Innistrad, and it was played. I'm pretty sure
it was, in French rights.
Yeah. It does stuff. It's an enabler. We see Grizzly Salvage, which potentially is one of the best versions of this card, but this isn't double colored mannered. It isn't restrictive in terms of what colors you can use. It is a potential. Card advantage potentially.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Card is absolute, again, bread and butter. It's the glue to the format. It's a very nice card to have access to. I don't think this is an evergreen, as I mentioned, with things like a Braid or Hero's Downfall. I think it is relevant when you have a graveyard-centric or land-centric format.
I want I want one of these effects to always be legal. If you got to tell me Sated Wayfinder was the one that always got to be legal, I'd be here for that. But I
Yeah,
think Mulch is safer.
that one's very good though.
I love that card.
Saturday Wayfinder's busted in half. So
yeah.
Okay, if you were to pick a card of a similar skill set, Mulch would be the one that I pick because it is very much on point and power level without being completely over the top.
Yeah, it's like in green, I think it's Mulch is probably the right one. If it's any color, Corpse Churn maybe. But I think this card's just really good, and I like it a lot, and I think it makes for fun gameplay. Part of the reason for which is that you see 4 cards finding lands with this, so it's actually like when you're playing this in decks, you're just really unlikely to get mana screwed, and it's like that's a good thing. You get to play more games of Magic. And also introduces a form of randomness into the game as well, which I really enjoy. So I'm a big fan of this card. Great to see it back. Shout out to Luke Mulcahy, aka Mulch. Great to see you back in the format, mate.
Yeah. Once again, a card when it is good, that means the format isn't a place I want to play it in. Cool.
All right, fantastic. All right, on to our last card already for green. We found some really splashy effects in green in this format, but none that really exploded out of the page at us. More things that enabled green cards we already liked, which were already legal, which is totally fine by me. You know, we're very happy to play werewolves and all the rest of it. This card I really love, and I think you had a dissenting opinion there, Russell.
Oh no, I like it. It's kind of like our pretend questing beast. I think it's cute. I think it's good. It's got a lot of the right stats in the right places, enough keywords. It's got a scaling late game application. I like all of it. I think I had this on my list of a card. It doesn't read exciting, but it's got a lot of good stuff going on. So
I love this card. I think this card's fantastic. I just love playing monsters. I think it's if we hadn't just had Questing Beast, more people would be excited by this card. Questing Beast, we never really get 4 mana 4/4 haste. Like, it's unusual. Like, I remember when we got, I can't remember what the dinosaur set, when we got a 5 mana 5/5 haste trample.
Oh, you're talking is it it's not Ikoria. It's the other one that sounds like that. Yeah. You're talking about Charging Monstrosaur.
Yeah. People got excited by that at the time. That wasn't that long ago. This card is just much better, obviously, than that, and that card didn't end up being played. But this is sort of that sort of haste, large creature pressure card that really supports the aka Monsters archetype, which we saw a long time ago now. But
very green-red monsters for sure.
Green-red monsters, green-black monsters. We already have the Praetor. What's his name?
Vorinclex. Monstrous Raider.
Monstrous Raider at 6, which is legal still. We've got this as well now. We have various other good mid-range aggro creatures in the format. So I like these sort of decks. I think that they provide a good counterbalance to doing combo control stuff. Hey, because they provide so much pressure so quickly. Every card you play is relevant from the turn you play it. Currently, what we're doing in 4 mana and green is casting Azeka's Chariot and getting value from tokens and all the rest of it. And that's powerful. But when you're trying to get your opponent dead as quickly as possible, this is the sort of card you want. So I like this card a lot. It's the sort of card the format needs. And just really happy it's here. Also, sort of a throwback to the last Innistrad, which, to be honest, I'm not a fan of in some ways, but it's really cool that they did it. I like the idea that they did it. They didn't completely forget that this was an Eldritch Horror playing for a second there.
Yeah, like it's still under the sway of some mutations. So, no, very sick, tells a good story, is pretty good card. I hope to see it play again. It's just one of the things. It's perfectly reasonable. It has good options and has a nice little meta game shaped around it if you play it.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
All right, excellent. That's
slam
it.
dunk, slam
it.
dunk. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. That's it for green. So we'll see you guys back in a minute, and we're going to be on to the multicolored cards, which I'm very excited by. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you then.